There we go. Now we're recording. Hey, it looks like it's 11 o'clock. I'm called to order the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for September the 26th, 2024. Welcome, everybody, to the beautiful council chambers here at the City of Seymour City Hall. First up, I got the minutes. Everybody had a chance to review. If so, I'll entertain any motions related to.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. No public hearings, no old business. We'll go straight into brand new stuff. This is a great one to give Mr. Walker, and even though Mr. Watson is not here, a heads up, because we're going to change how we do this in 2025. First thing we have is a special request for the Turkey Trot. This is the 8K Run 5K Walk. For Girls Inc. of Jackson County, 6:30 to 10:30 on Thanksgiving morning. In case anyone has forgotten, November 28th is Thanksgiving this year. The change that we will make in the future is when Jane gets these requests, I'm going to have them sent over to you and Watson to give them a once-over from a public safety perspective, check the route, things like that. So no worries, you don't have to do it yet, but we will add that in 25. So that's what we've got. It's the Turkey Trot 15th annual coming up on Thanksgiving Day. Any questions?
Does it need to be approved?
Everything's there.
Motion to.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up, Parks and Recreation. Does anybody want to talk about this one, or you want me to? Oh, Chad Keithley, step on up.
So we have a request for Crossroads Park, Sean Riley with Seymour Young Marines for their Red Ribbon Week kickoff, requesting police, fire, and mayor to be present. It's on 10/19. This is an annual event. We do have the agreement signed and the COI on file. So looking to do the annual event if you've got anything else to add to it.
Typically, well, they would be considered a nonprofit, so we would waive that, right?
Correct.
Fee? Okay,
Yes.
that's what I was double checking on. And then secondary, I would encourage everybody to attend. It's a good event. I believe, I am.
Is it a Sunday?
It is a Sunday. I may or may not have a granddaughter by then, so if I'm not there, that's why. But I'll let Sean know if I'm not gonna make it, but.
That's October 19th, Saturday.
A Saturday?
Saturday,
Okay.
yeah.
But I would encourage you guys to go if you have a chance, because it is a good event. The kids do a good job, raising awareness for drug.
Yeah, it's a great group.
So I will make a motion to approve, Red Ribbon Week's kickoff.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next up, Eric Roll.
There you go.
Good morning.
We think so.
I have
Was.
You got a white shirt on.
the first thing I have is Nick Hampton. Nick Hampton is asked to resign as shift inspector. He wants to step back down to first class firefighter. Just need signatures for that. We've had 3 firefighters. Anthony has put in for asking for resumes for that. We've had 3 firefighters put in to fill that position as a shift inspector. We have not made a decision on that yet. Cody Trowbridge has been approved by INPERS and meets all the requirements for our local pension board. Asking for signatures to hire Cody Trowbridge. His first day of work will be October 20th.
Whose spot is that, Eric?
That would be John Toby.
Okay.
That's on retirement leave. I'll be asking to be put on the Board of Works agenda for the October 26th for his swearing in. And this morning we had our official merit vote. We had it was 37 yes to accept the resolution and 4 no's. So that was completed this morning. Okay.
So Chris, if I remember correct, that means that that can't come up for at least another year?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Get some, paperwork we need.
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
Thank you, Eric.
Bernie Hausberger.
There on the left.
Looks like you're up.
And then the second page is, there you go. Hi Bernie, how are you doing? Fine, how are you?
Long time no see, sir.
That's all right.
Here, Bernie.
Okay,
Thank you.
good morning, everyone. We had a bid opening this morning for the transfer station, and I just wanted to pass out the kind of the unofficial bid opening estimates that came in from these the contractors. We had 3 bids that came in, and I think we had multiple contractors pick up plans, but decided not to bid it. But in short, the low bidder was Teton Corporation out of Madison for $2,196,860, and they did an alternate bid item ad number 1 for $11,000. And if you want me to read the other ones, I can. The next bidder was Temple and Temple out of Salem for $2,246,160. And their alternate bid item ad was $4,550. And then the other bidder was Bradshaw Building, and they were $2,795,795. And their alternate bid ad was $9,625. We went over the bids and looked at what they've supplied to us that with the other requirements, and I'll probably get with Chris on that. The low bidder Teton had a couple of, I call them minor issues, where they gave us an evidence of authority, but it wasn't the certified version. You have to go another step when you're online and to get that certified issue, but they gave us something from the state that said they were an entity basically, but it's just not the form we were expecting. And then the other issue with their bid was a financial statement wasn't signed, and that's something that we usually look for. I mean, they have a financial statement, but it's just not signed. So I'm going to get with Chris after the meeting a little bit, and maybe we'll discuss that and see what you think of the situation, and then we'll come back with a recommendation at your next Board of Works meeting, or we have additional time, and we'll talk to the mayor about financing and where we are with that.
Is this the amount that the ARPA funds, are they sufficient?
No, we'll have to do some appropriations to get us there.
So we'll see where we go from here. Do you have any questions on this? As far as I know, we'll just table these bids and go and look at approving at the next meeting.
Okay, thanks, Bernie.
Then on just updating you on mainly CCMG, this is probably the thing that we need to talk about a little bit. We've got Vestige Road under construction right now, and it's very difficult to get through there. It's under flagging operations. I would suggest that anybody that needs to go that direction, go to alternate route if possible. And we're also going to start work on Shields Avenue. They're supposed to take their milling equipment and go that direction, so that'll be another difficulty to get up and down Shields, which is also critical for, I guess I need to make that point to the police department, if you're bringing a funeral procession up that way.
We don't go up that way. We go up Highway 11 to the front entrance of Riverview.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that,
But that's a major thoroughfare, people cutting off to go to the east side of town.
sure. So anyhow, that's something to watch for anyhow. Then I don't know if we need to bring up 4th and O'Brien, but it's we're paving today, and again, by the end of the month, we should be hopefully open for.
Is there a place for lawn chairs to sit there?
There is evidently a place for lawn chairs.
Bring your own.
Good luck.
Chad, can you
Only set of the temporary bleachers there.
They have to have a permit to sit there though, right? Does that require a permit, Chris, to sit in the middle of the roundabout? You don't want drug in on this, do you? I think it's the only time I made your face red.
So,
Couple years now, it took this long.
So anyhow, going forward, we'll get that thing opened and, I'm sure there'll be some discussion afterwards, but
You think?
give us a few weeks and the thing should be rolling pretty good. Let's see, anything else? I'm still worried about Second Street. We're still doing utility relocates. We'll have a meeting on that this evening or this afternoon. We gotta get to the next step here, cause right now it's just, utility relocates and it's not good having the road closed and no activity on it. So we're working on that. That's all I have, unless you have questions. All right. Thank you.
Nope. Thanks, Bernie. Darren, I'm gonna give you a window even though you're not on the agenda for a change.
No, we did like 47 last week, so I think we're good this week.
Okay.
Or 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah, you're correct. Okay, hey, a couple of my items right quick on the miscellaneous front. Chick-fil-A. Would like to have some dates coming up in October. They would like October 1st, 7th, 11th, 14th, 18th, 21st, 25th, 28th from 11 to 1 for lunch at the Farmers Market lot. This is still the Columbus Chick-fil-A group. No complaints that I am aware of recently. When I say
Said
recent,
August 1st, there wasn't something else with Oktoberfest, right?
October 1st is Tuesday, right?
Yeah, we're good with that.
Yeah, we're good then on that. And then 7th would be the next
Okay.
week, so we
Yeah.
should be good on those. So that is their request.
Motion to approve the request.
Second?
Motion and a second to approve Chick-fil-A's request. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congratulations, Chick-fil-A. Next up on my list, Greg, I don't see Junior. Okay, 2 anniversaries this month. Cincian Ramirez with SPD is on his 5th year. Congratulations to him. And Kelly Pfeiffer with Planning and Zoning. So, Greg, I will send this with you so you can stick it in his mailbox. And I already put Kelly's in his office since he's off today. So, check those 2 off. Next item on my list, I have an itinerant merchant license application. This is from Scott Olson, the owner of the Vesselage Building, 300 North Chestnut. He would like to have vendors in the parking lot of the Vesselage Building for Oktoberfest. The standing guideline that I've used in my time here is that if you're going to be within a block of the festival, you need to confirm with the festival. They put a year's worth of work into attracting people to town. I reached out to the Fest board. They're not in agreement with this one.
When did he apply for this?
Yesterday or the day before,
Yeah. Okay.
sometime this week.
Okay.
They've had this conversation, I believe, with him more than once over the last couple of years. And then the second part that I struggle with is he is applying for an itinerant merchant agreement for others. As opposed to them applying for their own, he is trying to do a blanket for the lot.
For whoever he wants to put in there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he puts on here that it will only be tenants. But I know from the one email that we got, I'm fairly confident the gentleman is not a tenant.
Is that just that little lot north of his building there, between that and the house?
Yep. So, I mean, there's a couple struggles I'm having there. We have, as a collective, read and reread and read a 3rd, 4th, and 5th time the itinerant stuff, as well as the food truck stuff, trying to make sure that we've got our heads around it. So I'll open it to questions first. Thoughts, comments, concerns to you guys, and then I'll flip it out to the audience to give me anything they've got.
I'm not crazy about it.
If you're gonna do something like this, it should have been done, or it should have been talked about 2 months ago instead of 2 weeks, or yesterday. But then again, if the committee, the Oktoberfest committee is not on board with this, I don't think we should be on board with it also. That's my thought.
I agree.
Okay. Any questions from the audience or comments? Okay.
Do we need to vote to not allow that or just let it go?
I would vote to reject the application.
Okay, so listen to me closely. I will make a motion to pass the application. I.e., if you vote yes, it passes and he gets to do it. If you vote no, he does not get to do it. Anybody want to second that motion?
Oh.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. All those in favor? All those opposed? Aye.
Aye.
Motion does not pass. Sorry, it's that rule about you're not supposed to make a negative motion. Okay.
Whose rule is that?
My name is Roberts.
Roberts wrote all these rules years ago. You know me, I read stuff and it sticks in my memory and.
Robert's Rules of Order.
Yep.
It gets convoluted
It
sometimes.
could get very confusing.
It has.
We don't want it. How come we're making a motion to?
Miscellaneous from the board. That's everything I had in miscellaneous. Miscellaneous from the audience. Chad, Greg, whoever's.
Mine's quick.
So, since Eric brought up that he had a vote, Greg O'Brien, Chief Police, so on September 18th, the police department, voted on the resolution passed by the city council to deny the merit board. CJ Foster was elected as chairman of the board, and a vote was taken 30 yes to reject, 0 no votes. So, we had 15 people that didn't vote, so
Why wouldn't they vote?
they didn't show up.
They were absent.
They just didn't show up. Second thing, just information, 911 board voted and passed a Moto Turbo digital UHF system. This would replace the old VHF system that you're well aware of. It's an antiquated system. The new one will be digital. Should be up and running sometime in the next year. When that's up and running, they're hoping to move some of the fire toning systems out to it, along with fire radios and stuff like that. The one nice thing about Moto Turbo is the cost is more of a civilian instead of a public safety. So the cost for the radios is between $700 and $1,200 for a WT, where currently you pay $4,000 to about $10,000 for a WT for a police department, fire department radio. So this will allow the volunteers and some other agencies, but I think we'll probably jump on. I'll get with Eric and we'll probably move his tones over to the UHF. So
Our condolences to your family too, Greg.
what, Brad?
Our condolences to your family.
Yeah. So thank you.
Thanks, Greg. Chad?
I just wanted to say real quick, 4th and Ewing is gonna be a 4-way stop, thanks to everybody voting and passing that.
Is that going in soon?
Yes, sir, they're down there working on
As
it
we
right now.
speak.
So they've got the message boards up, doing the advanced warning ahead of time. Just trying to get it in before Oktoberfest, that way we can, and we will have those message boards up during the Oktoberfest as well, just to give traffic to know what's going on, so.
You say there's gonna be
That-
something
yeah, that
in
one
the
actually
middle of the
will.
section? Or is
No, it won't
just-
be in the middle of the roadway, but it'll be on the side. It's a message board like the state has or whatever.
Okay.
We've got 2 of them. They're on both sides thanks to Homeland Security. So,
They're up now. They're just blinking
yeah,
squares.
just warning right now. But as soon as it goes to 4, then it'll be a different message.
You just might give your guys the heads up as well, Greg, that way they're, not to go write tickets, but to
Yeah, they'll
be ready for,
Yeah, there's a
Thanks
grace
for that.
period there.
yeah, to be ready to respond, because traffic pattern changes often lead to accidents.
And they did go down and restripe the crosswalks and the stop bars on the other side as well. That way everything's still matching in the intersection, so.
Thanks, Chad.
Thank you.
The other Chad.
That's fine. Oh.
This is quick.
Just to give you an update on the pickleball courts, just went down, outdoor court specialists are there currently working. They should have the court up and completed sometime next week. BC Electric's also there. The foundation for the lighting's been set, and the lighting should also be done by sometime next week. So hopefully, once the court's done next week, it's about a 14-day grace period for everything to cure. But then after that, the only thing left to do is to put the fencing up. So pickleball courts should be up and running very soon. So then we'll have 4 courts for the city.
Thanks, Chad. Anyone else?
Okay, so the other day, I live across from the dugout at Shields Park, and the other day, a man and a woman were in there, and she came walking out after some time with her clothes literally half off of her body. Mm-hmm. Now, it's my understanding, because this man is almost living in that dugout, it's my understanding that the state has, correct me if I'm wrong, pretty much taken away the police's authority over getting these people out of the park. They can ban them for a day.
I'm gonna start with, did you call the police?
Yes.
Okay.
It was explained to me they can ban them for a day.
Right.
But once midnight comes, they can come back.
Mm-hmm.
And that came down from the state, correct?
It's,
The Indiana Supreme Court ruled that way.
yeah,
Okay.
so.
Starting
yeah.
at this level, what do I need to do to fight that back?
Look at you, lawyer, because I don't know how to chase that one.
The Parks Department and my department are currently working with each other to develop policies and procedures for the city parks. And part of that would give the parks the ability to issue more long-term, I don't want to use the word trespass because that's a very specific legal term, but to bar individuals from city parks for a more extended period of time. But we need to have policies in writing that are reviewed and approved by the Parks Board in order to put those into practice. So we are in the process of getting something down on paper for the Park Board to review, and once that is implemented and passed by the Parks Board, we can start utilizing parks personnel and law enforcement personnel if we need to remove individuals and bar them from city parks for a more long-term solution.
So my understanding is if they are asked to leave the parks, and they do, and then they come back before midnight, they can get them on trespassing. But after midnight, it's a new day, so they can't get in any trouble?
Well, if there's criminal activity, they can be removed, arrested, if an arresting officer views that as necessary. But if it's just simply their presence, we can't.
But I have to have proof, so I pretty much have to go up and take pictures of them in the dugout. And
well, I wouldn't want you to do
some
anything.
things you can't unsee.
Right, yeah. And I wouldn't want you to put yourself in a potentially unsafe situation either.
I'd rather it be me than a kid.
But, you know, I would just recommend continuing calling 911. In the meantime, we are working things on the administrative side to allow the city to make some more long-term corrections.
I already feel like a pain in the ass to this police department. Is there nothing we can do to push back to the state?
I'm a big fan of calling your state reps.
State reps?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
I figured I'd start here and then work my way up.
Yep.
So, in a nutshell, a public park is public property.
Right.
And currently, we do not have an ordinance, so from 5 to noon, well, 5 a.m. to midnight, the park is open to the general public. After 12, we do have officers that go through and clear the parks. He sees them on video all the time. They go check the bathroom doors and they clear the parks. We can trespass somebody for the day and the day only, so the next day is a new day. Now, What she's talking about is the state Supreme Court has ruled that you have to have a mechanism to fight it. If I go ban you for life at Shields Park, you did something, there has to be a mechanism to be able to go back to that park, right? You can't ban somebody for life without a board voting. And so what the state recommends and what they're working on is there will be like a 6-month ban. So if they're in the park, then they can be trespassed criminally. Does that make sense?
It does.
So the park board would take from us, this guy's always in the park, can we just ban him? And that there will be a board that will vote on that, but there has to be some mechanism to undo that.
In place to.
Does that make sense?
It does. I don't think that it's strong enough for you guys yet. I think there needs, because this was the middle of the day.
Yeah,
They
so,
don't care, and it's disgusting, and
I know,
there's
but,
drug addicts over there talking to
but,
themselves.
you know, at the end of the day, it's a public park that people can use publicly. That's where the Supreme Court was ruling on it. And so they said, if you wanna ban people, you've got to come up with an ordinance.
And salt guns are legal in Indiana, right?
What are?
Salt guns?
Salt guns, yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Motion to adjourn?
I was gonna say, I wondered if they, under miscellaneous, if someone may.
Step on up.
So my name is Scott Olson. I have the Vestige building across the street here. During Oktoberfest, the last 8 years or something like that, we've had a couple of booths sitting in the parking lot there. I got scolded about 7 or 8 years ago that people couldn't be there, and then we had people there then it was like okay. We were told it was okay for about the last 5 years or so.
Who told you it was okay, Scott?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
It was, I don't know if it was Jeremy or, I'm not certain.
Somebody from the Oktoberfest board, man.
I honestly don't remember. Anyways, last year there were a couple of people set up, and Kelly and Jeremy came over and said couldn't be set up there during Oktoberfest. The ordinance clearly states this, that, and the other. I got a text message from Solomon Rust, as to the ordinances that were being breached, having them set up over there, as well as a fine standard which would be applied if they weren't followed. So with the information that I was seemed to be getting from the city and Oktoberfest, I took it upon myself to go talk to Matt Lorenzo and have the ordinance checked out. And the ordinance, from his perspective, it deals with public property, not private property. He said that anybody can set up in your parking lot. As a courtesy, if there's any transient vendors, as a courtesy, let the Oktoberfest board know, the city know. So I went into the city office and got the itinerant merchant license application for the people who weren't actually tenants of the building, and just told them, fill it out, please. It's just a courtesy to let people know ahead of time so we don't run into anything that we ran into last year, that there will be people setting up. I had, last year I had a specific tenant that bought a bunch of merchandise. She does hair, makeup, and whatnot. And she spent $3,000, I think, and was told, you can't be here, put up. That's her normal business. There's 20 some small businesses that go on in the building, and a lot, half of their clients can't make it, can't navigate through the traffic, can't find a place to park, so they, just basically do without that business. So they're trying to find a way to manage their income by setting up a booth out in the parking lot. And I just wanted to come in and see if there's anything negative that you guys have that you don't want, that you can tell me that why it wouldn't be okay to set up there.
I'll start with 111.21, section D. So under itinerant merchant, no person regulated by this subchapter shall engage in business in a commercially zoned district outside of any building.
Person regulated by this subject. Outside of any building. Okay. 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 I guess that's it then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Scott. Anyone else?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Meeting adjourned. Enjoy your afternoon, everybody.